In this lesson, we are going to speak about capacitors. Okay, so our goal in this lesson is just to master how to find the capacitor on board and how to measure a good capacitor from a bad capacitor by using the multimeter. So, firstly, let me show you something, guys, that this is an Android board that you see right now. This is an Android board, okay? But this is also an iPhone board. They are the same. Look at this. The capacitors and file and coil, resistor, everything is the same here. This is like this, okay? There is no problem at all. And iPhone 14 is just like iPhone 4, okay? This is an information for you. iPhone 14 board, it's just looking like iPhone 4, but it will differ in circuit that we are going to talk about in next section. We're gonna talk about circuits in next section, but this section is gonna be simple and easy, and don't worry at all. Don't worry at all, okay? So firstly, let's check where is capacitor here. Just by first look, it's looking like yellow color, just like this. If you see here, yellow color, this is a capacitor, and this is a capacitor, this is a capacitor, okay? Yellow color and big in shape. This is a capacitor here. Let me get the board so you can see this is a capacitor. Okay, just by first look, you can get the capacitor. It seems yellow. This is a capacitor. This is a capacitor. This is a capacitor. Just try to pause a video right now. Okay, try to pause a video and try to find the capacitor by your eyes. Exactly as you are working inside right now with me. Like we are working together now. Try to pause the video and find out where is the capacitor by yourself. It's so easy. I will move the board and step by step so we can determine where is the capacitor exactly. So let's start. Okay, I can see two capacitors here beside a coil. Let me help you. Okay, I think you got it. Two big capacitor here. Okay, this is a coil. We're not gonna speak about coil. Okay, I can see a capacitor here, but I'm not gonna point for you. You will see by yourself. Okay, a lot of capacitors here I can see, but I'm not gonna point for you. There is two small capacitor over here. I think you can see him. Here, two small capacitor, yellow. Okay, capacitor are looking like the same. And coil also. This is a coil, but we're not gonna speak about coil. It's big like unsettable body. Okay. This is a resistor. We're not gonna speak about resistors. Just let's speak about capacitors only. Okay, I can see capacitors here. I can see capacitors here. This is a capacitor. Okay, this is a very small capacitor. Okay, wow, I can see also capacitor here. Okay, this is all the capacitors here. I think you can see. And right now you can determine the capacitor, how it looks. Let's see the capacitor on the iPhone board. It's so easy too. Okay, this is a capacitor here, but it's not like so yellow, but you know, I know that you got it. This is a capacitor. Okay, I think you can see the capacitor. There are three capacitors. Okay. Over here, this is a capacitor. Capacitor. Okay, this is iPhone board. Exactly the same. Okay, this is exactly the same as Android. It's yellow. Here, this capacitor exactly as same as Android itself. So, firstly, we know right now how to determine the capacitor on board, or how to find the capacitor on board. So let's see how to measure the capacitor itself. It's so easy, guys. We're just not gonna talk. We're just gonna take like a minute in understand how to measure the capacitor. And this is a diode, by the way. I think you can see it, but we're not gonna speak about diode. Okay. Firstly, to measure a capacitor, we need to get a buzz mode on multimeter. Can you see, guys, this? Okay, we're just gonna select. See, this is a buzz mode, like a sound mode. There is a sound here. You can see on the multimeter, it's the same sign as this one and this one. And to make sure that you are correctly in the buzz mode, you need to test it. Can you hear the beep? Okay, we are correctly on the buzz mode. Okay, in case just let's start measuring. Okay. Let's get something big. Okay, this is one is big. Okay, we just putting the multimeter on the sides of the capacitor itself. It's so easy, guys. We put the multimeter probe on the side of capacitor itself. We get 0 OL. 0 OL means it's working. Okay, 0 OL means it's working, or it's called infinity. Okay, it's called infinity. But what if we make the red one and the black one the opposite direction? Let's see what will happen. If we also, if it's 0 just like this, we are standing in the negative way. Okay, still 0, which means it's working. So no value in both sides, it means it's working. If we get a buzz or value in both direction, it means it's not working. Okay, so 0 OL in both sides, it means it's working, it's super working. Okay, but if we get a buzzer, it means it's not working. Let's see another one. Let's see another one. Okay. Let's test this one. 0 OL, it means it's working. Okay, let's opposite the probe. Still 0 OL, which means working. Okay, this one is so big, let's test it. 0 AL, which means it's working fine. 0 OL, working fine. Let's opposite the probe. Still 0 OL, which means working fine. But let me show you something. If it has short to the ground, 0 OL in both value, which means it's working well. But if it has short to the ground, let me make it like a short here. If there is a short like this is not working capacitor, it's shorted to the ground. Can you hear the buzzer itself? There is a value on buzzer, which means this capacitor is not working at all. And this is how we discover the capacitor is not working or not working. So again, let's recap to finish this lesson. We make a buzzer mode to the capacitor. If we got 0 OL on both sides, it means it's working probably. If there is no buzz, it's working probably. If we get a buzzer or a buzz, it means it's shorted to the ground, so this capacitor is not working at all. But do not say that this capacitor is the reason of the short itself. You need to take the capacitor out of the board and to measure it, okay, by desoldering way. We take this capacitor by desoldering way out of board and start measuring it out, because sometimes if you find a short in line, this is maybe not the reason of the short itself, because you can take the read of all line only by measuring the buzzer mode on the capacitor itself. Okay, so we are going to know this in details in troubleshoot mode, but this is how we completely measure the capacitor. By buzz mode, 0 OL in both value, it's working probably. If we get buzz, it's not working at all. And this is our first lesson.